Alright, good afternoon, morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you at the time of your watching this. This is going to be a in-detail guide of my latest method of Barrows. Basically, the only real cost is air runes. There's no need for prayer, no need for food, no need for anything really. So yeah, stats I would recommend are at least 80 magic. 81 would be, I think it's 81 for surge. Yep, 81 would be slightly better. So I use air surge. I'm not sure if it's better actually, but it's just cheaper. You don't have to go through polypore staffs and stuff. And if you want to bring one of the others, it's completely up to you. It's just extra cost with no extra result, so there's no point in bringing fire surge or any of the others. So yeah, going on to how to get there. I might as well just include everything. Some people might be new, I doubt it, but if you don't know how to get to Barrows, there's 4 main ways. I've only got 3 of them with me. This includes 2, but it's the same method twice, really. The first one, which I wouldn't really recommend, it's using the ectofile, or ectofuel, or however you want to say it. This brings you to the Ectofontes, which is north of Port Phasmatis. And basically from here you'd need to run all the way to Canifis, and then depending on if you've done In Search of Marek or not, you can go in this dungeon and it brings you out here, I think, or here, and then from here you cross that bridge, run down to this transportation arrow here at the hollows, and that brings you, there's a boat, you click on that and it brings you down to here. Another method is, I think you have to have unlocked it from temple trekking. Unfortunately I haven't, but you can use the games necklace. That'll teleport you to Barrows. If I have a look on here, it says you can't go there until you've earned the reward from temple trekking, so I'm not sure exactly what you've got to do for that, or if it's worth it or not. I have no idea, but I'll show you anyway. That brings you to Barrows. There's a bank, a few other bits and bobs, but a bank, and it brings you here, I think. From here you just walk up, cross the bridge into Morton, and then cross the bridge to the east and you're at the Barrows. This is the method I use. I use the house teleport tabs. This is the same sort of thing as if you have the ancient magic spellbook. I wouldn't recommend it because you want to be using air surge, but if you're using polypore strike with a polypore staff, then you can be on ancient and still use it. So then you get access to the Carol portal teleport spell, which requires level 66 magic, but I've got one in my house, so I can just teleport here, recharge the prayer. There's a glory over there, so I can go to the G and sell anything. And then this brings me out in Canifis pub, and then that's the entrance to the dungeon, which takes you, which I just said, to the boat a minute ago. And the last one, I think, I can't think of any other methods of getting there, but the last one, you need Draken's Medallion, but if you've got that, you probably know how to get to Barrows already. If you want to know how to get that, you need the Branches of Darkmere quest. Requirements are as follows: Legacy of Seergaze, Legends quest, 63 agility, 76 woodcutting, 63 farming, 70 fletching, 64 crafting, 67 slayer, and 70 magic. Now, I've got all the requirements, I'm just lazy. But once you get that, you get Draken's Medallion, and basically what that is, it's just like any other piece of teleporting jewelry. You rub it, it'll give you some locations. I think there's 4 locations. It can take you to Darkmere, the Mayor Ditch, Bird the Rot, and Barrows. I might be wrong there. I've never had it, but that's as far as I know. That's the most efficient way of doing Barrows. And right, so now we've covered that. Oh wait, one more thing. If you haven't done In Search of the Mirek, or In Aid of the Mirek, or any of the Mirek series, basically Barrows is going to be a bit of hell, because you've got to walk from here, well, run from here all the way down to this gate, the swamp gate, into Mauritania Swamp, Montmire Swamp even. Run all the way down to this little mazy bit here, round there, into Morton, and then into Barrows. It takes ages. It can be worth it. I know I used to do it for a really long time, but then I finally did the quests, and now I will never do it again because I've seen how quick it can be. So yeah, other stats I only really mention magic. Melee stats, I'm not really too sure. 70 attack and 70 strength should be enough. If we have a look at my melee abilities, right, that's no use. If I click that, I think it shows them up. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't show their level requirements. Yes, it does. Yeah, so 81 attack is required for Meteor Strike, but I never use that, so I don't even know why it's on here. So you really only need 70s really in the melee stats. 50 defense maybe. 70 would be better because it gives you access to more health boosting armor, like Garb of Subjugation, Guthans, all that good stuff. And obviously the higher your total health, the more the healing abilities heal you, so that's always a good boost. Right, so moving on now to the inventory and gear setup. I tend to use just a bit of everything really. Pretty much everything that's at the bottom row of this is I take. Right, I'll pause it and while okay, so this is the inventory setup I use. You want to be wearing your magic outfit when you leave the bank. This will be what you use the most, so it's also what I'd recommend you just use first. I use Bandos boots just because I can't be bothered to take an extra inventory slot for a boot switch, and can't really afford boots. But yeah, I take Guthans, Carol's crossbow with Royal D'hide, Fury, Cape of Legends just because it's the only cape I've found with a life point boost, Ring of Wealth switch for when you get to the tunnel, And then the magic gear, I've got an arcane stream necklace, staff of light, subjugation robes, Saradomin cape, and Tockle Zoe, just for the critical bonuses, and Kalenomancer's gloves. Obviously bolt racks. Right. If you can't afford subjugation, I know not everyone can. It's about 18 mil now, I think, for just the 3 bits that I've got. You can use ARMs. That's about 3 mil at the moment. I think maybe 4 mil. It's rising. I wouldn't recommend it though, because then you've got you use robes a lot, and the recharge cost on them is not really going to be worth your time using it. So if you can't afford subjugation robes, I'd recommend, let's see what I've got. Oh, if you've got Void, use Void. I'll just say that now, that is pretty much the best thing you can use. Especially if it's Elite Void. I don't have a set, unfortunately. I think I sold all of my magic stuff. But things like Mystic, Enchanted Robes should all do fine. Armor. See. Sacred Clay, never even used that. Not worth it. Well, I don't know, half the new stuff isn't even on here, but Batwing robes I think are level 50 gear. If you use all that, you will be fine. So, and that's not too expensive, and if it is too expensive for you, then kill bats. It takes no time at all to get a set. I'm sure you could be able to find someone with 60 crafting or whatever it is you need to make it. Yeah, and if you don't have Guthans, then you can use Rune. I'd recommend Guthans though over any other Barrows set, because obviously it's got the healing ability. And last night I did about 15 runs with dual crossbows. I've only got the offhand chaotic, and I used a main hand rune crossbow with broad bolts. Don't. It's terrible. I definitely recommend the Carol's crossbow until you've at least got dual chaotics, because then you can use royal bolts, which have a higher damage than any other bolt I think at the moment. Alright, so now I've showed you that, let's get on with the method. Oh, and I forgot to mention these 4 food that I've got are just like for backup in case you lag or disconnect, just so you don't have to rebank, because it does happen, or if you get like really unlucky and get comboed out. Okay, so here we are at the Barrows. If you've never been here before, the first thing you'll probably notice are the hills. There's 6 little hills or mounds if we zoom right in. As you can see, from the bridge over here you'll run round and the entrance is here. Yeah, so there's 2 at the north, 1 in the middle, and then 3 at the bottom. So the first one I always start with is the northeast one, which is Darok. The northwest is Verak, and if you've completed the Ritual of the Majorak quest, it will also have Akrusei in here as well, which is the 7th brother, but if not, you don't need to worry about that at all, so you can forget that whole part of the guide. The one in the middle is Arim, and he's a mage. The other 2, well, Darok and Verak are meleeers. Akrusei is a mage, but I'll go into details on him when I get there. Torag is Amelia, is in the southwest corner. Guthan is in the southeast corner, Amelia as well, and Carol is in the south mound. So, okay, so here we are again. I'm gonna cut the last bit out. I was a bit of an idiot and I forgot to bring my air runes and ended up dying at Barrows. But let's forget that. The first run you're gonna have prayer, so we're gonna make the most of that. You want to use your impact ability first. What this is it stuns. If you see now, he can't attack me, and then I'm safe to attack him from a distance. Then I use whatever that says. I'm sure you know the magic abilities by now, but if not, you can see the symbols. Just use the same ones again, and asphyxiate is probably the biggest damage per second you will ever see. So yeah, just do those. You can see hit me there. It will happen, but you have the regenerate ability on your bar, and basically when you're running between the hills, it heals you. Then we have Varak, stun straight away, that's nice. Put augury back on. If you don't have augury, then use overcharge or mystic might, or both. If you don't know what overcharge is, it's a new one. It's basically a strength boosting prayer for magic. But the stun will probably wear off before you finish the kill, so you can use the stun ability again if you miss, or if you've accidentally used it and it's still counting down when he gets unstunned, then just go for damage and just go in for the kill. If you've done the Ritual of the Majoret quest, you will have accuracy here in this same crypt as Varak. Now, accuracy hits very hard, even with prayer, I think. I don't think I don't think prayer affects him, so there's no way of blocking the damage. Now, he hits 1,000 plus with magic, and he hits very accurately. He also prays, and he's weak to bolts, so what I'd recommend, around this crypt there are these rocks. There's one here, one here, one here, and that's it. Basically, you'll be running over from here, you'll click there, and it'll spawn in a random place. If you click here, like if you click on the sarcophagus while you're stood here, he will either spawn here or here. Now, if he spawns here, you want to run straight to here, and it'll block him behind the rock, and then you'll be safe. If he spawns here, you want to run to here, but this rock won't block him from this way. He will just walk round to the north of it, so once you've got him north of the rock, just click straight back round here, and he should only hit you once, twice if you're unlucky, but you're going to get hit once or twice by all of them, so it's nothing really to worry about. So let's do a demonstration of that now. So let's just pretend I've been over here, I've just killed Varak. So run over here, click the sarcophagus, and he spawned there, so got one hit on me, and that's it, straight behind the rock. And then you can just go on to attack him, use whatever abilities, it really doesn't matter, just go for damage per second. You can't use the dragon breath one because he's more than one square away. Now if you see there, he's just put on protect from magic. I'm not sure on the exact hit count you have to do for him to switch prayers, but it's around 1500. Now with that in mind, I've just hit 1900 and he's switched to range. So you want to switch back. If you want to switch the hotkey bars, there's 5 of them. I've got my magic set up on bar 1, my range set up on bar 4, and my two-handed melee set up on bar 5. Now this has got my dungeoneering teleports on it, but that's just because I use two-handed weapons in dungeoneering, and I've been doing a lot of that lately. If you want to know what I've got on 2, there's my general slayer setup for dual wield weapons, and 3 I've just got random skilling. Like I was using this for smithing and this when mining. But yeah, that's it. 1 for magic. To switch between the 2 quickly, it's just you hold shift and the number that you want to switch to. Now if it's 1 or 2, then that's going to be quicker because it's less strain on your hand, like stretching between the shift key, and since you'll be using magic most, I keep hitting the wrong key when switching to range, but you'll get the hang of it. I mean, if you do that kill quickly, you should end up with the adrenaline bar full. Now that will give you a lot of health back, so it really doesn't matter how much you get hit. From here you want to switch back in. I'm not wearing my toggles though. Okay, from here you want to switch back into magic, head south. What are you doing? And you'll be in Torag's sarcophagus. I can't speak. But yeah, here's just the same as Darok. You want to try and stun him. If you fail, just go for damage, get him dead as quick as possible. Use all your abilities. Even auto attacks generally hit higher on the Barrows brothers. But yeah, go for asphyxiate, stun as soon as your recharge is back up. I don't know why that didn't work, because it did hit. It happens sometimes, but yeah, just go for an auto attack. And here we go. There we go, the stun hit there. And it's dead. So yeah, this ended on an ultimate, so I'll get a lot of health back. If you want to get the maximum health, then switch into your Guthans, or whatever is the highest health boost armor you've got with you. Guthans is for me. The subjugation robes are only a little bit behind. It's only 2 health points per heal difference, so doesn't really matter too much. I mean, but yeah, this is Guthan. Now you want to really stay away from him because he does hit quite a lot considering you're strong against melee. But and obviously his special effect is the healing ability, so you don't really want him to hit you. I tend to like to leave this tunnel with a lot of adrenaline left, and I don't use the heal, but for demonstration purposes I'm just going to use it. Right, if I didn't even mean to switch into range. Right, here we go. Put your melee setup on, head to the southernmost mound, go in, switch to your melee bar, and Carol should spawn. Now if you see there, that just healed me. If you get purple I don't even know what to call it, like waves above his head. That means the special effect is activated. Whatever you hit when that activates will be added to your health, so it's really useful if you're low on health. Unfortunately, Carol is the only thing here which is actually weak to melee, so that's why I use the regenerate a lot more. Now, assault ability requires 55 strength. That is going to be your most damage per second you will ever see, I think. But yeah, that can take out Carol if you've got a decent DPS. So if you've got 70 attack, weapon or higher, dual wield, you could easily take him out in one go using that. And if you get it hits 4 times. If you get the healing ability on twice, you'll be on full health, no problem. Anyway, then you head to the middle tunnel. The middle, I don't even know what to call it, mound. You'll be at Aram. Now for me, this is my tunnel. For you, the tunnel could be at any different mound. So it could be over there at Darrock, Guthan. Oh, that's Darrock. I don't know which order they are. I can't see them all from here. But yeah, you know what? It could be in any of them. Lucky for me, it was the last one. So, but if you do get the tunnel before you've killed all of the others, then just you'll get this screen. Just say no, walk back up the stairs, go to your next tunnel, and then when you've killed them all, you come back to the last one and you go in. Now when you're entering the tunnel, you want to be in your mage setup, your mage abilities. You will spawn in one of 4 corners. Now I'm gonna draw a little map because that's what I am like. Okay, so let's say right, the tunnels look like this. There's 4 corners. It's like a 3x3 grid. There's 4 corners and then a few rooms around. You will spawn in one of these 4 corners. Now what you've got to do is get to the middle, which is where the chest is. There's also little rooms around the edges which go in a, well, shape like that. There's one of these on each edge. Basically what that does is it skips out the middle room. The doors to the center are in the middle rooms. Only one of them works on at any time, and this will give you a little puzzle which you have to complete to get to open that door. Standing next to these doors, no monsters will be aggressive to you. So yeah, let's say you spawn in the northwest room. Yeah, I've got the wrong option highlighted. Now it's just deleted my map. But yeah, you get the idea. You spawn in one of these rooms. And now I'm pretty certain this is the southeast corner. So I'm gonna draw that again just quickly. Right, I've got set on white. Okay, so 3x3, chest's in the middle. I've spawned here. Now, if you remember to a second ago, there's 4 doors to get into the middle. I need to work out if it's the north, east, south or west door which is available to me. Now if you've got a big screen, you can look over and I can see already for me it's the east door. So this is the one I need to get to, which means I need to get to this room. But unfortunately, this door here leading straight to this room is shut. Only one of these doors in this room is open, and it's this one to the east, which brings me out to this path, which will put me in this room, and then I just need to head south, and then that's it. The rooms you get given are different every time, but it's the same possibility. It could be either of the 4 doors, and then it's which door have you got open in your room that you spawn in. If you haven't got the Dragon's Medallion, you will need to leave via the same route, but if you have, you can just teleport using that back to the entrance to Barrows. Anyway, I'll end up in here. Every time you open a door, it will spawn a creature which will attack you. You can't open this middle door in combat, so just do whatever you have to kill it. Everything in the tunnels is weak to magic, so you just open it like this. There's 3 different puzzles. I won't show you all of them, but they're pretty easy if you've got a little bit of common sense. And if you do 10 trips, you'll memorize all of them, no problem. So yeah, just deal with whatever creatures you've ended up with in here. Try to remember what your tunnel is. So mine's Aram. Now he can spawn at any door within the tunnel, so you might not be lucky enough to make it to the chest without him spawning. But if you don't, then when you click on the chest, he will spawn. So just deal with him. So for Aram, you want to use range. Now this is where the Carol's crossbow does a lot better than the dual wield crossbows. Because the dual wield crossbows I never hit, but with this I hit every single time pretty much. I said as I hit a 0 and again. But yeah, basically Carol's crossbow does work a lot better than dual wield bows on Aram anyway. Aram is weak to arrows, so if you got a Zarite bow or anything like that, you can use that. But if you've got all that, you probably don't want to be doing Barrows. But yeah, now you've killed everything. If you want to get your kill count up, it's up to you, but it's really not necessary. All it does is it increases the amount of runes you get, and runes aren't worth anything anymore, so it's really not worth it. A couple of years ago, the runes you'd be getting 200k a run with 10 kill count. Now, like last night, I did 15 runs and got 200k worth of runes, so it's not worth it at all. So yeah, you want to switch to your Ring of Wealth, open the chest. I got given food and runes. So yeah, then you just want to remember your way out. So I have to go east, north, and then back into this side tunnel, which will bring me back to the southeast corner. I normally end up leaving the tunnels with about 3/4 adrenaline, so that heals me back up fully. But yeah, then you'll have this rope, click on the rope, you're back upstairs. And you'll be in the same tunnel, and then that's it, you're out, and you're free to go again or leave, depending on how bored you are. But yeah, the only reason I'd ever need to leave is when I run out of air runes or my Guthans or Carols degrades, or if I get bored. See no other reason. Remember to switch back to your other ring. It doesn't matter too much, but some extra critical bonuses, which, you know, every little helps. Sure, you know, like Barrows prices are as high as ever, or they're getting there anyway. I think Darox is back at 10 mil a set, maybe 11 mil now, so it's not been like that in a long time, since 2010 I think. So I'd imagine quite a few people would be wanting to try out the new Barrows, but not knowing how in the EOC. I'll do a quick run over of my abilities. On my magic bar I've got this rack. Basically you can just use it every 3 seconds, which is every 2 hits really, so it's perfect for doing as much damage as possible. Then I've got impact, which is the stun ability. I think I've got all of my stuns on the second except for on the melee bar, because I don't use stuns when meleeing. Chain I've got on number 9. You can have your keybinds set to whatever you want. I just have them, I usually click the last 4 and use 1, 2, 3, 4 Q, U, E, R for the first 8. Next to that I've got combust, which is here. It does a damage over time effect. It's not too useful, but it's just, you know, every little helps, and it's some extra adrenaline it gives. Then we've got dragon breath, which is only really useful if the stun misses, because it's just extra damage to try and deal with them as quick as possible, to take as little damage as possible. Then we've got asphyxiate. Now this is damage over time effect, or combo attack, same thing I think, but yeah, it just hits really high really quickly. It's basically assault but for magic. Then I've got wild magic and a threshold ultimate ability, which I never use. Yeah, in my opinion ultimates aren't worth it, because I'd rather use the adrenaline for healing and just threshold abilities. They seem to be better in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, on my melee bar, remember this is for a 2-handed weapon setup, so I've got slice, which, yeah, it just hits 125% weapon damage and 10% greater chance of being a critical. Then I've got sever, which is here. Sever a tendon, dealing up to 188%, and it reduces all damage they deal by 10% for 10 seconds. Then I've got smash, which is exactly the same as slice, and if you use it in PvP it disables their prayer like the old dragon scimitar special. Then we've got fury, which is just a combo attack, deals not much damage but it helps. It hits 3 or 4 times I think. And then we've got assault, which just demolishes everything. You don't really need to know the rest. And then on the range setup, I don't know, I just put every range ability there is on here really. I don't have the multi-target attacks, so ricochet or bombardment in here, because I use this, I can't remember what I used it for, but I didn't want to be attacking 2 things at once because I would have got killed really quickly. But obviously multi-target attacks, don't use them in the tunnel because otherwise you'd never get out. But yeah, other than that, just go for it. Well, this is how not to do Barrows. I'll protect that because oh, forget it. I'll start again. Never mind, I won't. But okay, if you do die at Barrows, remember to take whatever it is you forgot which caused you to die. Just bring some teletabs. You should spawn at Canifis Bank if you came here first, or in a safe location. You know, you can choose anyway on the gravestone interface. But yeah, just make your way back as you do. Doesn't take too long. I've got the 14-minute grave, so I've pretty much got no chance of missing it unless I disconnect and never get back. But yeah, that'd be the same everywhere. If you've got things like the Dragon's Medallion, it's really, you know, no problem if you die. So like, the only problem it is for me is the fact that things like Barrows breaks in the grave, so I've got to now spend pretty much half of this cash stack on repairing my Guthams because I'm an idiot and forgot air runes and tried to tank Darok with no prayer. That's the first time I've died since this new gravestone update, so this should be interesting. But yeah, one thing to take note on is always remember which mound you died in. I often forget, so, but yeah, it's this one. If you inspect, you can take all, yeah, let's put back on them things, put that back on there. Yeah, I've got that. Now I lost my Saradomin cape, so I should have kept that really. Right. So yeah, I think weapons repair cost is more than armor, so be sure to protect whatever you don't want to pay the repair costs for. If you've got non-degradables which protect automatically over degradables, I'd recommend switching them. This costs 48,000 Hotkeys to repair, so definitely keep this. Another thing it's good to have in your house is an armor repair stand, because then you can just go here, not misclick. God, I'm terrible at this. 433k for 5 pieces. Oh, it repaired those as well. So, yep. Let's do this. And I'll get my Saradomin cape back, and we'll get back in a minute. Once you're done, teleport out, go to the Grand Exchange, sell your goods, or go back to Canifis Bank. You don't need this food, but you know, if there's anything I have forgotten or missed out, or that's the same thing, or if you want to give any feedback about anything, then just leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you want to ask anything in game, then I'm gonna say join my friends chat, which is the Asphyxia. I will be changing that soon, but yeah, I'll start sitting in here all the time, so if anyone wants to ask any questions, then go for it. And good luck with your money making.